Greetings! My name is Kevin Andrew, and today I'm playing Super C for the NES, which, if we're going to be honest, is a fantastic run-and-gun shooter for the NES. It is the sequel to a game that a couple of you may have played. I don't know. Might have been a popular game called Contra, which is one of the staples, I think, for pretty much any NES library. Contra was a game that popularized the famous Konami code. The Konami code, if you're unfamiliar, and if you're unfamiliar with the Konami code, first of all, and you're a gamer, shame on you. You should know the Konami code. And if you're not familiar with it, it's okay. I'm going to educate you right now. The Konami code was up, up, down, down, left, right, BA start at the title screen of the game Contra and gave you 30 lives. And why would you need 30 lives to beat Contra? Well, Contra gave you 1-hit kills, 3 lives, 3 continues. You get hit once, you're dead. And it was not an easy game, and I think a lot of people even put it in their list of hardest NES games of all time, which I think is kind of giving it a little too much credit. It's a very challenging game, but I don't think it's really that much harder than a lot of other run-and-gun shooters. If we're talking about NES games, it's definitely not harder than games like Battletoads, but it's a pretty hard game, and this game is also quite challenging. Now, this game does not have the Konami code, and if you look at the top left of the screen, you can see that I only have 2 lives in reserve, so I'm only using the default 3 lives, 3 continues, and when I am out of lives, I am out of lives. And since I haven't played this very much recently, there's a good chance that I'm not gonna get very far. I will do the best I can, though. So this game is a lot of fun. It can be played 2-player co-op or single player, as you can tell right here, right now. It is the sequel sequel to the game Super Contra in the arcade, which was released around 1988, I believe, and was the sequel to Contra in the arcade. I'm not sure what year Contra came out in the arcade, but this is kind of a tough first boss, I have to say. The first Contra had a pretty easy boss. It was a building with just guns and stuff. So anyway, this game came out in 1990 on the NES, so it came out a couple of years after the arcade version. And I just got to be honest, I think this version of the game is better than the arcade game. The arcade game had better graphics, better sound, but this game, the controls are just spot on. The response time for the controls is excellent, and I feel like they just got it right on the NES version of the game. It could have used better graphics, but I mean the graphics are fine, and for an NES game, I think they're great. So the first game, Contra, had these sort of, for every other level, like the second level in the original Contra was sort of this third-person perspective, and in this is sort of this top-down perspective. Now, I think I preferred the camera angle, like the levels, the second level in the original Contra, more than I like this top-down perspective, because like this is sort of like a twin-stick shooter without the twin stick. It's just sort of, you aim wherever you're facing, which sort of makes it tricky. It makes it tricky to move and shoot things, which is why I'm going to try to keep my spread weapon. The spread, I think universally speaking, most people consider it to be the best weapon in Contra and Super C, primarily because you can just sort of spray and pray, like I'm kind of doing right now. You just kind of, you just sort of shoot and then worry about dodging the bullets and assume that your spread's going to kind of take care of the enemies, take care of the rest. So we're just going to make our way through, and I'm doing pretty well so far. This part right here without the spread is really, really challenging, and I'm actually not very good at it. If I don't have the spread right here, I usually don't get past this part. So I'm going to make it as far as I can. If I don't get that far, I apologize. But anyway, so this game was made by Konami, who made a lot of other really good games, and there haven't really been a lot of Contra games in recent memory. There was one for the PS2, which was excellent. I think there were 2 for the PS1, which were okay. But there were a couple for PS2. One was Contra Shattered Soldier, which was, in my opinion, one of the best shoot 'em ups on the PS2. And there was another Contra Neo or something. I never played it, so I don't know if that was any good. But the Contras on the PlayStation, like PS1, in my opinion, were not that great. But this game is excellent. If you have an opportunity to check it out, do it. It's very, very challenging. I'm not sure how many levels there are for this game. But we will just get as far as we can, and that'll be that. So here we are in the jungle. This level has a neat mechanic when you get to the water. That's kind of funny that I will show you in a second. When you get in the water, if you duck underneath the water, you become invincible. Even to enemies that are running through the water. They just run straight through you if you duck under the water. And I'll show you that in just a second whenever we get to the water. Now this level has a very, 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 very challenging mid-boss that if I don't have the spread when I get to, or at least the laser, I really struggle beating him. He is really challenging without the spread. This guy is not dying. There he goes. I think the water's coming up. Yep, there's the water. So check this out. I am now invincible. Cannot be hit. Oh. Even to the guys running through the water. Nobody can hit me if I'm under the water. I'm invincible. I'm Superman. So, making our way through. Yeah, but this is a really fun game. I've played this game quite a few times co-op, and honestly, I think it's one of those games that is significantly easier if you play co-op. So if you are going to play and you're not using the 10 life code, then co-op is definitely the way to go. It's a lot of fun, and even with just like the three lives, if you got a partner that is even marginally good at running gun shooters, it's not that bad. So one thing I think is kind of funny about this game is the story basically says aliens are attacking, and here's that boss I was telling you about is really hard if you don't have spread. Basically because you have to jump and time your jumps with your shots just right, and as you can tell, it takes a lot of hits. So if I didn't have the spread, I would have to jump and hit him like this, sort of one bullet per jump type thing. So this section is kind of challenging. It's an earthquake, and the floor falls out from under me. And if you were on a piece of floor that falls all the way down, unless you've got a controller with an auto fire, it's almost impossible to jump back out of the hole. But you can do it. You just got to time it just perfectly. So, I'm going to keep my spread. I don't know if they disappear. You're about to find out if the weapon power-ups disappear if you just stand there. Yes, they do. So, we're going to make our way through. The thing that I was saying, I think was kind of funny, is the all the way down. There are a lot of buildings that the aliens have inhabited. I don't know if they've inhabited them or if they've built them, and I feel like if they were building, like this boss right here, this boss is a building or a big robot. I feel like somebody would have seen that. I feel like we would see aliens just sort of hanging out building things, but apparently nobody did, and they didn't realize until it was too late, and everything was already built, and they were attacking us, which was pretty unfortunate. This weapon, though, seems like pretty specific. Like, they were thinking, man, if like one guy comes attacking us, we got to have something to really throw him off. Pretty easy boss if you've got the spread. If you don't have the spread, can be pretty challenging. And onward to the next level. So I'm doing pretty well. Better than I expected. I got 7 lives. Wow. So I think this level has death bubbles. These are death bubbles. Bubbles of death. They are just bubbles that will kill you. They don't really do much other than just try to kill you. There are angrier bubbles later in this level that home in on you and kill you very much in the same way. You will hopefully see those soon. Now this level has some tricky sections like this. So like if I shoot the ceiling right here, it falls on me and will kill you. And I've got these wannabe Batman enemies. Oh no! Thought I had fallen in the hole. Yeah, I feel like this is really where the game gets kind of tricky. And if you're playing co-op, you see that I'm jumping up. If you have one player that jumps up faster than the other player, then and the other player runs out of screen real estate at the bottom of the screen, oh no! And they sort of fall off the bottom of the screen, then they will die. It doesn't stop the screen from scrolling up. The person who's getting left behind, they just die, which makes it so that you really have to coordinate with the other player getting to this level. So if you do not have the spread at this part is incredibly challenging because of the very angry death bubbles. I think they're coming up. And you can tell the death bubbles from the regular bubbles because the death bubbles are blue and red. The red indicates that they're very angry. And just some regular enemies combined with the birdmen. Oh, I've got to do this manually. I've got to go up. So up we go. I think, that was close. Yeah, if you don't have the spread here, if you get hit in these first sections, it kind of seals your fate because of the later sections in this part that are incredibly hard without the spread because of the death bubbles. And maybe I'm giving the death bubbles too much credit. Maybe they're not as hard as I think they are, but from my memory, they are very challenging. Whew, that one almost killed me. Okay, yeah. See, as you can tell, pretty easy with the spread. You just, like I was talking about before in the previous level, you just sort of spray and pray, and the weapon takes care of most of it, so that you can concentrate on just dodging the bullets, which is nice. Whew. Yeah, very hard without the spread. So, I'm not sure how to beat this boss. No. I know that we have to destroy all of these things. Oh no, I'm dead. Yep, I'm dead. We got to destroy all these things, and we just have to kind of know where to position ourselves. Man, I wish I had not lost my spread. That's going to make this really, really hard. Oh no! But at the very least, when you poke holes in the that middle area where there are no... Oh no! See, what you're supposed to do is keep one of them at the end so that you have a place to hide. Oh, come on, I'm so close. I'm so close. Yay! I beat him. Okay, so I don't even know what level is next. I haven't been in this next level in quite some time. Onward we go! So I'm not sure how well this was received in the arcade. I've actually never seen this in the arcade. I imagine it was received pretty well. I know the original Contra did well in the arcade. I mean, I don't think they would have made a home version of the game if it had not done well. But, yeah, these are just sort of, they're classics. I mean, this and the original Contra are just classics. And, but I do wonder, oh, I just ran into that bullet. I wonder how classic they would have been if it had not been for the Konami code. Because, I mean, as fun as these games are, I wonder if people would have played them as much if they had not been able to actually finish the game. Just sort of food for thought. Did the Konami code, do you think the Konami code made this game successful? Wow, I'm doing so terrible. I think I'm thinking too much about the Konami code and have ceased to concentrate. Yeah, I'd like to hear what you think. If you think the Konami code is what made this game and the original Contra so successful? Let me know in the comments, because but you know, other hard games were really successful on the NES. I mean, Castlevania was very successful, and that was very hard, and it didn't have the Konami code. I don't know. Or do you think it would have been successful, but just maybe not as successful? I don't know. I know the first time. Uh-oh. Man, this is a really tough level. Or maybe I'm just doing really, really bad. The first time that I ever saw the original Contra finished was like I legitimately thought the game was impossible, and I had a friend that came over to my house and he was like, "Oh, I can finish it. Contra's easy." I'm like, really? What are you talking about? And he told me about the Konami code, and I sat there and I watched him finish Contra, which previous to him telling me about the Konami code, I legitimately thought was impossible. Though I think it was impossible, but so yeah, I guess this is the boss. Oh yeah, I think I vaguely remember this boss. Oh, we are finally getting into the aliens. Oh no, I think that was my last life. Yep, that was my last life. So I think I'm going to call it quits right there. So anyway, this was Super C for the NES. I hope you enjoyed this video. You know, like I was saying a second ago, do you believe that Contra was successful because of the Konami code, or do you think it was more successful? I think it would have been successful without the Konami code, but do you think the Konami code made it more successful? Leave the comment down in the comment section. Let me know. But anyway, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy it, give me a thumbs down. Subscribe to my channel. I'd appreciate that. That's important to me. And until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Have a good one.